You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome to episode 60 of the Palmetto Dugout Show as these two slappies have their notes in front of their face. This is the second part of episode 60. Make sure you check out that first part with Mr. Sean Duncan, CEO of Prep Baseball. But now we're going to get in and talk about the ProCase and make our weekly Pic Ems. No guest picker this week. Our guest picker did not want to participate. But hey, here we go. So we obviously big event, Coach, October 10th with the ProCase fourth annual, right? Is it the fourth or third? I can't remember. Fourth annual. Fourth annual.
Quattro.
ProCase. Not sure if any records were broken. We hadn't really settled down on those records yet. But obviously some big numbers were put up. We'll kind of talk about those guys a little bit here. Biggest standout on the mound was who, Coach? Well, there were multiples, but hey, yeah.
I think we're going to go Daniel Parker, right? One of our top ranked 25s in the class. And, you know, we were joking with him when we were there. One of our first full events we had as a staff here with Prep Baseball Report was a good old Midlands Open a few years back. And Daniel Parker came out there and he was switch hitting infielder, and guy's got a pretty good arm. And he got on the mound was like 86 to 88. And you go, God, this guy's pretty good. You know, a couple of years, you know, moving forward, and Daniels, we know he's been a guy for a while. You know, Gamecock commit, and he comes out, right? He goes 91, 93. You know, we're going to get to the point 93.5, you know, with a plus slider and a changeup. And obviously extreme standout, not hard to pinpoint him as a really good, talented arm, but he's a young man, obviously. Oh, and by the way, he goes out to shortstop later, and we kept trying to talk him into not throwing the balls hard, and is up to, 91, 93 across the infield, whatever it was. But it's obviously extremely electric coming out of his hand with a lot of ease, right? And it is, you know, mechanically it looks pretty clean and loose athletic arm action. So we think the world of Mr. Parker, and the sky's the limit there. So he came out to shoot. He was the first pitcher of the night too, and came out and lit it up from the first pitch on. So it was fun to watch him throw again. He battled some back injuries last year, so it was good to see him back healthy and rolling.
Hey, he's a big Sean Smith, or a big I don't know how to put
Words
this.
are
Sean
hard.
Smith guy. Big Sean Smith guy there. Anyway, you talk about injury with that one, and you look at Carson Bowman too, coming off of an arm injury, a year and a half, Coach, somewhere around that time. 87 and 89 from the left side.
Yeah, coming off Tommy John, right? We attempted to get him a couple years ago over to the junior futures, had some plans already in place, couldn't make it there. We were able to get him to the top prospect games two summers ago, and right was 84, 86, and it was pretty easy, right? He was about to start his freshman year. Not long after that, commits to Wake Forest, and right, year and a half, maybe a little less than that, comes out removed from Tommy John. Oh, by the way, he's quarterback for his high school. Comes out and right as easy and clean of an arm action and mechanically sound as you can be with what is it, 87, 89 on the fastball with two good breaking balls and a changeup. So another young 2026, another youngster in this state that's got, you know, nothing but a bright future ahead of him. And it's, you know, I can see next year being a low 90s guy, and then that senior year being a mid-90s lefty. You know, Wake Forest looks like they're going to have a lot of work to do to get him on the campus in a few years.
He's gotten bigger too from previously. He's hitting that weight room with that arm injury. Lower body's gotten a lot stronger.
He
looked good enough. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Austin.
He looked good enough that I think at least 2/3 of the people on the show have already picked Southside Christian to win state next year for their 1A pick. I think he looked good. I mean, yeah.
Coach, they were going to be in the running for the 1A pick.
Yeah.
We're not giving out any secrets yet, but that jersey hanging up in the back of Mr. Stewart there, I don't know if they're going to have a chance with Mr. Bowman on the mound. I know they got some talented players there, but yeah, Austin, you're right. Right. We talk about this all the time. We talk about some stats. You talk about the fastball, right? I think he sprayed one ball in his 20-pitch bullpen, right? Everything else was dotted up, located well, right? And when usually coming back from a surgery, a Tommy John like that, right? Usually the location, the command might be a little bit lagging behind some of the stuff, but if it's still lagging behind, watch out now come the spring.
Hey, he's a stud. I might have been the first one to see him too. I'll claim that one too.
Have we ever noticed that Drew only claims to be the first one to see the good player? He don't ever go, man, I was the first one to see that bad player.
We're going to pivot off of that point. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Upstate players, coach, not in the Midlands. You were sticking that. You sticking the upstate again with another arm, and I'm pretty sure one of us have already gone with the Yellow Jackets with this guy on the mound to win a state championship as well. Also,
Coach,
you want to talk about
throwing the chips in on the Yellow Jackets.
Seth Manning here?
Yeah, we did have one of it was only 1/3 of us, I think, though, that has already gave the Yellow Jackets the. Like I said, I don't want to ruin any future episode that we might put out here in February, and don't want to end up on any more TikTok videos or anything like that. But our friend Seth Manning, he I gotta find him. Got too many players on here. Can't keep up where we were. But I got him as he was up to 91. As somebody, I know some of y'all don't like to round up. Y'all like to round down. I would have gave Parker 94 because I round 93.5 up to 4.
Trackman does it.
The pitcher side of me and everybody else who was sitting back there with me, they rounded it up too. So you don't take it up with me. Take it up with our friend back there who was scouting for.
Was it Freebird?
It was the Japanese national team. He was the first person to see Otani. You were the first person to see Bowman. He was the additional
and Landon Fowler.
Otani. But yeah, on a serious, as serious as we can get, Seth Manning. I think I saw him 2 or 3 times this past season. When I saw him pitch the region championship that night at Hannah against Hillcrest, and he was as advertised that night, and I think he's gotten better since then. So he's up to 91, and he's a 25. So we got. It'd be interesting to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, good power breaking ball from him too.
14-hour marathon that night too.
He unfortunately got part of the weather delay. He was on the back end of the top prospects game, Southern Charleston Southern, throwing in the fog/firework debris.
When the dance party was going on next door, and I think the rest of us have erased that from our memory. But you are correct. Yeah, he was there.
He was there. Yeah, he's. I think the Gamecocks got themselves another good one there with Mr. Manning going down there. He's got him. Converted catcher, really. Catcher pitched a little bit. All of a sudden, right, you start throwing 88, 90. Hey, you go. Well, maybe I'm a pitcher. I think he kind of moving on from that catching role. Talking to him a little bit, maybe doing a little bit more outfield, swing the bat a little bit, but put the emphasis on the pitching stuff. So good one, young one up there in Hannah for the Gamecocks.
Hey, we got to shift the balance here. Get away from the pitchers and away from the Gamecocks, and we'll head over to a Tiger with Treon McFarland.
Now that we're done talking about the athletes, we'll talk about the guys that swing the
bat. Athletes, coach. Treon with a 6.63 on the 60. Some of us did not think he could run that fast, but nonetheless,
no,
the
but some of us
is obviously there.
Some of us. Let's not lump all of us in there.
Who is the some of us?
I'm not going to say.
Some us.
It wasn't big.
Austin wasn't even present. I don't know what he was out there talking Freebird. But Treon 6'6", he ran it twice, coach. 6'64" and 6'63".
If anybody was wondering, Drew was the first person to ever see him run. Nobody had ever seen him run until Drew. When Drew showed up, he ran for the first time. Drew got to see it.
The first 60 that he ran that night, nobody else saw it except for him.
Drew,
that's why he had to run it again.
Yep.
No. Again. I got to see him run his fastest 60 time ever. So there you go.
You know, while we get off that subject, right? But then he also goes up there in the baton, right? I don't know what his average was off the top of the head. All that stuff starting to cycle onto the website now, but it was constantly in mid-90s. You know, exit velo shows obviously good athleticism. Right, another kind of converted catcher. Before the pass was a catcher, now mainly an outfielder. The way you run like that and go ahead and get out there. But obviously swings the bat, has some juice in there, and good bat speed. So I think the Tigers, you know, they probably thought a year or so ago they had a catcher. Now they think they got themselves a future outfielder running around out there. So good problem to have when you got that kind of athleticism. First person in the world to see him was Drew. So.
That one's going to
I'm the first to see a lot of people. We're going to stay in the – if Austin will shut up, we're going to stay in the ACC here with a North Carolina commitment. And Mitch Wilson, catcher first base, who ProCase participant last year, but gotten a little bigger, seems to – looks the part all the way.
We got to go back and do up some digging. Was he the –
record breaker, maybe.
Might be the record breaker. We'll have to go see that with the velo behind the plate, right? We've gotten a chance to watch Mitch playing games. We've seen him in showcases before. I mean, physicality, right? It sticks out. I mean, he's strong. He looks like a middle linebacker in a good way, running around out there. Big time power and pop of the bat, upper 90s. I think you get around 100. You got 100 exit velo.
You got one with wood.
One with wood that usually works. You know, but obviously the power and the juice is there, and the Tar Heels coming down into the Palmetto State, getting a guy. But right, it's not just arm strength behind the plate. I think his best pop time, I got it right here, was a 186. Some people call that something else. I'm gonna go with a pop time on a 186 right there. You know, so a bunch of 187s. I think his worst one of the night was a 2.01. So obviously a young man that also has the power in the bat, but can also get rid of the ball with some quickness and some big-time arm strength.
Yeah, he'll be excited to see him play in the spring as well as get to the beautiful Tar Heel City. But I said Tar Heels like Sammy's got me saying over here. But we'll refrain from that saying.
He made a good business move. He went from trading in the Dorman stuff for the UNC stuff. He's not going to switch colors. That's a lot to be said for that. Yeah, a lot to be said. We saw him hit a couple home runs in games last year as well. I think I saw him.
Did.
He hit one over the batter's eye at Lexington, I believe. It was kind of.
I feel like every time we went to go watch him play last year, you know, Homer.
He did. He hit one at Blythewood one night. I think it was at Blythewood. One of those preseason tournaments when y'all all left me down there. And, you know,
that's when you got to see Connor Wells.
You were the first to see Connor Wells.
Nobody had ever seen him throw a baseball before. That was the first time they just rolled. He drove the bus down there, and they said, "Hey, you want to throw a pitch?" Yep, first one to see it.
Oh my gosh, we.
Hey, you asked for this. You asked for this.
We did ask for this. It's the first time on the show in 35 episodes, and here he is. You know he's back.
Can I say something like that too? It's a pleasure to be able to
hold on.
You guys
how about let's add that to the end here. We're still in the ProCase. Two guys that I thought stood out are going to the same school, Coach. You'll agree with this. Jack Painter and Tanner Harden swung a bat really well from the left side at the ProCase. I think Painter took a couple out. And Harden's just that consistent line drive hitter who has gotten better every time we've seen him to where we saw him in the top prospect games a couple years ago. Two hitters that the Terriers are going to get that are pretty good.
Yeah, both big, strong kids. I mean, they're both physically fit, look well in uniforms, and you know that park up there in Spartanburg, conducive letting some balls fly. So you can see those guys putting up some big time numbers in a Terrier uniform. But both of those guys, young men that we've had a chance to watch high school games and a bunch of showcases as well. And, and they continue to get better and better, and they're fill out and get more mature and big, strong guys with the bat, and look like Walford got a couple good ones there. Both play the defense well too. It's not they're just bats, right? They get down the field and good hands, good actions, and make plays. So they're two studs.
Yeah, Tanner Orton's got a chance to stay there in the 6 hole at Walford. You look, another guy that stood out, obviously our first time seeing him is Noah Franklin, 2025 from West Ashley going to Duke. Quite the talker, but he showed out when it was time.
Coach, 101.5, I think, exit velo.
Is
one
that
of the
good?
top ones of the night. I think that's pretty good. Showed obviously some big time pop. Also behind the plate too, right? Was 186, 187, I think, in there. With the pop time was his best one. So, young man down there with some strength. And I saw him one time last year. I think he's battling a little bit of an injury. Wasn't catching. Saw him hit. But we never saw him behind the plate. But obviously fits right in, right? You see that commitment with the Duke, and you got that works, and physicality, right? You see those Dukies, they're big, strong guys in the uniform. He fits right in with those guys. So he was definitely fun to watch. I'm glad he was able to come up the other night and watch him launch some homers and throw some pellets down the second.
We all saw him for the first time. How about that? We saw him first.
Inaccurate. I saw him last spring play against Somerville in the playoffs. No, it wasn't
not
playoffs.
really.
Last season, last year of the regular season.
That's like Sean Smith claiming he saw Landon Fowler first, but he was hitting, not pitching.
He saw him.
Well, I see a lot of people in my life. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. What is Austin pointing at? How about this one? This is how about this name right here? Daniel Almanzar, I guess that's how you say his last name. 2026 medal infielder at P27 Academy. Coach, I remember the kid getting the ball short. We had the 2 slappies behind the first base net with the radar gun. He threw the ball, and I heard one slappy say 89. Is that good for a 26?
Coach, I think it's pretty average. Yeah, right. I think it was the night before the event. I got a text from Coach Warner over there at P27. He goes, "Hey, I think my 26 shortstop just signed up." He goes, "He's got a chance." I go, "Yeah, I just got it. He's in." And right, we roll out there, right, 6'3", what is he, 180, right? Like looks the part, and boom, he comes out there the first ball, and it's easy, right? It looks like it's supposed to look, right? It'd be the guy if he was had a Braves uniform on right now, you go, yeah, that fits. He rolled out there and right cuts it across 89, gets the bat, smoking balls all over the field. 26. He could be a senior right now. He'd be one of the best players in the state. So we'll have to figure out this ranking things when we get in here. Once we get in November with him, but he was a fun one to watch, and obviously got multiple years to watch him in high school moving forward. Thanks, P27, for that one.
We're the first to see him. Look, we could obviously talk about everyone on this list here. But do you two guys have anybody else that stood out to you?
I'll let Austin run on this one right here.
Austin, you got it.
But while y'all were talking earlier, I was starring a lot of names. The problem is y'all covered most of them. I got one left, and I should have fact checked. I don't want somebody to fact check me and me be wrong, but I was the one with the TrackMan iPad. I think our highest exit velocity of the day, we hadn't talked about him yet. It was Cameron Turner, 104, yep. First baseman for corner infielder from P27. Got to know him a little bit while me and Lever were over there running the radar gun, and he was scooping balls left and right at first base. Got to know him a little bit. Nice kid. And then he walks up and goes 104 off the bat. So big kid too, 6'3", 215, P27. He's a 24. I should have done a little more research before I gave him the shout out, figured out where he's going, if he's going. So
uncommitted at the time.
So somebody might want to get on him. Hits balls hard.
Yeah, power bat with some juice.
A lot of juice there. 104. I mean, it's not the program record, but it's close.
About 3 off.
close.
That's still close.
104 is close to 107, I think. Last I checked.
Closer than 100.
Yo, this is just way off here.
So if he's a first round pick in 4 years, I can say I was the first person to talk about him.
We have got to stop. Oh my God!
You opened this can of worms. You're not getting the lid back on it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Obviously, the content.
Yeah, we could talk about every single kid here, but we would probably lose a few of our listeners as we mosey on down. But right, the content is starting to the social media has been rolling. Hang in there with us. We're getting our back end of our websites getting updated. So I was hoping to get out some of the stuff today. It might be tomorrow when we get it out, but we will start rolling this stuff out for the next week and a half plus. Tons of more social media stuff, tons of more content to the website, tons of more stories. So once we get all that rocking and rolling, people will be able to see all kinds of good stuff that these players had to show out with.
A special shout out to Xavier Cuevas for the pictures during the event. Great pictures, fantastic pictures.
Sorry, Blake.
Yeah, we're sorry, Blake. But the leaderboard, the leader graphics have been started to kind of go out here with one of Treon already out. And those are Xavier Cuevas' pictures. So special shout out to him. Coach, I think we've had commitments since the last time we were on this show. It seems like they're just rolling through here. I saw one came through earlier. Elijah Sanders 2024 at South Point committing to Forest Darlington. Will Howard 2025 committing to the Terriers. Terriers are hot.
I'm getting season tickets to Wofford in a couple of years. If I can go watch him and Harden and Painter all on the same infield, I don't know if Howard's going to hit up there. I don't know. He might be going to pitch. I'm not sure.
They saw him, I think it was a week ago, go 88 to 90 on the mound, and an offer immediately came out. So, pitch, hit. You never know. We'll find out. Only the time will tell. But
talk about a lot of progression.
I coached him in 7th grade. Does that count for being the first to see him?
Or was it the first to see him or the first to develop him?
Well, he got better after I quit coaching him, so that might not have been so good for him, though. Great kid, great family, good player.
Coach, that's going to be a good high school team to go see this spring.
Watch them Vikings.
Watch them Vikings, Coach.
I can't wait to go to Emerald.
That's your favorite place to go.
That is my favorite place to go. Out of all the places.
Drew is the first person to ever watch Emerald play.
At Emerald, yes.
Ever watch Emerald play.
Might be the only person.
They got a great place to watch a ball game. They got those rocking chairs on the porch of the clubhouse down there. Great place to watch a ball game.
When's the last time you went to Emerald?
Maybe I haven't been to Emerald recently. Then
there's no rocking chairs.
Down the first baseline, it's got a clubhouse right past the first base dugout. Got rocking chairs on.
All the JV players hang out right there.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to get there early. Get a rocking chair.
I always get there very early.
Giddy up.
Is that going to be part of the new podcast? Is a new segment this spring?
What?
Concession report along with places to watch games.
What's going on? Why are we got balloons on your screen?
Why did this balloon just go over my face?
Because it said birthday vibes behind your head.
Yeah. We always special shout out to my daughter, 9 years old yesterday. Her 9, big birthday.
We can have a concession report and an amenities report.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Might be cooking with some oil here.
Hot oil.
Where was I at? Hold on now. Did we? I don't know if we got Matt Murray committing to Mars.
No,
Hill.
we did not. We did not.
Okay, from Greenwood, Matt Murray going to Mars Hill, and you had Jack Lutheran 2024 from Ben Lippen going to Erskine, and we hear there are some more commitments on the way. So stay tuned.
Watch out now.
One of them's going to be Cameron.
Cameron who?
Turner.
Just because Austin said it. Obviously, you moved to Sunday, and we have unsigned senior games, right, Coach?
Yeah, unsigned senior. We got 2 teams going to line it up and go out and get about a 8-9 inning ball game out there, along with the workout before. So we'll have a good time out there, Francis Marion. The weather's supposed to be nice and get rain get out of the way and good temperatures, and we'll have a good time. So we got a good roster. I know talking to some Division II and junior college schools that are still allowed to go out on the road. They were making plans to come out there, so we're fired up for it.
Look, we've got to bring this on episode 60. Our favorite picture from the ProCase was a profile, a headshot. Okay, for all the people to see, none other than Mr. Lever here. With the
our
headshot
favorite
of the
pitching
year.
coach in the state, right there. Oh, we got a double picture.
What about that one?
Wrap it up, boys.
So hey, we're gonna hop over to what the people want here. With the Week 7 Pic Em. Austin's fired up. Yeah, we're doing this quick, so we'll run through them quick. Not a lot of explanations here. You'll start off with Texas A&M at Tennessee. Tennessee 3-point favorites. Give me the Vols, Sammy.
I'm going Vols for the win.
I hate to do it, Rocky Top. Give it to me.
You'll always be.
I don't trust Jimbo.
God almighty. Number 2, Kansas at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State 3.5-point underdogs. Give me Rock Chalk. Give me Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas is going to shoot a 3 late and pull ahead for the win.
I'm going Kansas as well. I thought for sure Sammy would be OK State.
No,
he's not a shooter.
You kind of remind me of Gundy.
I'm a man.
I thought for sure that's why you would pick him.
The big one of the weekend, Oregon at Washington. Washington 3-point favorites. Give me the Huskies. Washington. With Michael Penix.
It might be the best game of the year that nobody will watch because it's way out in the great Northwest. But
3:30.
I'm going to go. Got a chance. Still won't watch it. I'm going with, because you picked Washington. I was going to pick Washington, but you picked them, Drew. So I'm going to Oregon. Bo Nix.
I'm going to Oregon as well. I think Bo Nix is going to win the Heisman. Give me Oregon. Give me the Ducks. Big Dan Lanning guy, former defensive coordinator at Georgia. Big Dan Lanning guy. You know what Dan says? Some people's out here playing for clicks. Some people's playing for wins.
Well, he's not getting this win. Auburn travels to LSU. LSU 11.5-point favorites. Give me the Tigers.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which Tiger?
Oh, that is right. This is the second week in a row they've done this. Give me the LSU Tigers.
LSU as well.
3 for 3. Give me the Tigers. LSU Tigers.
Great picks up here. Missouri travels to Kentucky. Kentucky 2.5-point favorites after getting slacked. Give me Missouri.
You know, we talked last week. Vegas kind of knows something.
They knew something, all
Georgia last week. They knew something. They still going to know something. Missouri, it's a good story. I think they're running out. Kentucky bounces back with the dub.
Taking Missouri. I think Stoops and Kentucky are still wallowing in their defeat from last week. Give me Missouri.
Miami travels to North Carolina. North Carolina 3.5-point favorites. Not sure why it's not more with Miami's coach has the worst decision of the century.
Done that twice.
Well, you know, he might be the dumbest coach in America.
Wow.
And the Tar Heels, when you make that decision to not kneel the ball and lose to the Yellow Jackets,
Georgia Tech.
Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech. North Carolina rolls big time in this game.
Tar Heels with the dub. Blowout.
Clean sweep. Give me the Tar Heels. I would have went Miami if it hadn't been for last week. You lose to Georgia Tech, I don't pick you.
USC travels to Notre Dame. Notre Dame 2.5-point favorites here. Southern Cal has no defense. Notre Dame can't score. Southern Cal wins the game.
You know, I don't think Notre Dame's played a road game all year. Feel like they're at home all the time. They might have played last weekend. I don't know. But
at Louisville,
again, Yeah, was that at Louisville? I don't want to watch. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think Notre Dame can score any points. With that being said, they'll probably score 50 this week because I said that. Southern Cal will score 52.
Give me Notre Dame. I don't like Southern Cal. Not a fan.
They just very simple. I like it. NC State travels to Duke. Duke 3.5-point favorites here. You know what? I think it's time. It's time. Give me the Wolfies. I think that Riley Leonard is out for the Dukies. And the Wolfies are going to win the game.
The Wolfies have made a move, changing quarterbacks. As Drew realized that hostile environment at Duke, I don't know if NC State can handle that. But with that being said, back to the top, baby.
Wolfie up. You going?
What is going on around here?
What are you doing over there?
That's all Drew.
Give me Duke. Give me Duke. I want Duke. I don't know why. I just
Krzyzewski's bringing him out.
John
when I hit the late 3-pointer. UCLA travels to Oregon State. Oregon State 4.5-point favorites. Give me DJU and the Beavers.
Yeah, in Oregon State.
Give me Oregon
West
State.
Coast games.
Give me Oregon State because I like the story of DJ after he was annexed by all the people in the great upstate of South Carolina.
Annexed.
And DJ was the problem, and we've quickly learned this season DJ was not the problem. Give me the Beavers. Give me DJ.
Didn't he move to the last game? Florida is at South Carolina. South Carolina 2-point favorites. You know, I was originally going to take the Gators, but after learning, Gamecocks are 13-3 in the last 16 games while returning from a bye, and 2-0 in the Shane Beamer era. Florida's not very good. South Carolina's not very good. It's fair week. Give me the Gamecocks.
Coach, that's a good stat you just threw out right there. I think it kind of threw me and Austin off. Regardless, it has no bearing on my pick. I'm with you. I don't think Florida's any good. South Carolina's got some limitations, but I think they got a quarterback and some wide receivers, so I think they'll win. Chickens by 5.
Interesting. I'm going Gamecocks as well. I told y'all the other day we're going to the game. We're going to make a Saturday of it. Might get down there in the big city of town? City of Columbia. In the city of Columbia.
We're the capital.
Yeah, we're going to go down there to the capital city of Columbia. Do they have a cool name for Columbia? What do they call it?
Soda City.
The armpit.
Yeah, give me the Gamecocks. Every time I picked them so far this year, they've lost. So that's a good reason for me to pick them again.
Okay. Then your tiebreakers.
Between the fair
Miami.
Traffic.
Here we go. Keep going, Austin.
Hopefully, the best part about that game will be when it's over. Hopefully, we can go watch the Braves. Hopefully, they win tonight. We'll get to watch them Saturday night.
No, you're going to cry tonight. Miami and North Carolina is the tiebreaker with the over-under at 56. I'm going 62 total points.
58 over.
I think you looked at what I did because I got 63.
I did not look at yours. I could care less about yours.
Well, I think that's what you did.
All right, 63.
You were the first to see my picks.
No, Sammy, you sent them to Sammy too.
I was the first to see Sharkies.
No, you weren't. Anyway, for episode 60, that's going to do us here. So from finally all three of us at PBR South Carolina, we hope you have a great week.